Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, so let's get started. Sorry for the delay. So I just figured out, right? So right now I'm working in a company called Galaxy, which works for us manufacturing of the satellite and send it to the space for Earth observations. So main application is for the synthetic aperture radar, and we can also have a camera on top of it, which will visualize the Earth and give this sensitive information which cannot be drawn easily from the ground earth. So from looking from the top of the sky, we could able to figure out about how agriculture is growing. If any kinds of atmospheric gases are releasing, we can inform the government and take some necessary actions on based on that, right? But I just clicked it that how the electronics components are being made and what is the role of the mechanical engineers over there. So I was just going through from some articles and find out that every chip, because as we know that code has become a kind of commodity, everyone can write a good code, and that specific event lead to the skyrocket in the demand of electronics and hardware and embedded, right? Now, due to that, the role of mechanical engineer for this specific companies has been much more valuable than we ever think, because I do not have any understanding about that how mechanical engineer can serve in the component testing or kind of electronics domain, right? But so whenever I was just studying about it, I just found that every electronics components are being uh, kind of gone through the various tests so that that specific component do not fail while they put into actual scenarios. And what mechanical engineer can provide, that simulate the exact same and higher level of difficulties which the chip might not able to going to face, but need to test on those standards so that it's reliable and people trust that specific brand, that if we are going for a space grade chip, let's go for X brand. So there is just would like to give some example. There is something called a shake and bake screening. So all the components which need to be used in a space grade or space aerospace companies, they need to have this kind of screening. Like, because let's suppose if someone is making a satellite or some specific component that need to be traveled via launch vehicle, assume Falcon 9 in this case, then the shaking or the lifting force need to be experienced by that specific chip. So if a mechanical engineer can simulate that exact scenario on the much larger or exaggerated scale, they can reiterate with the electronics team to come up with some different architecture, or mechanical engineer also suggests something better in terms of the materials, that these are the things which we should change, or this kind of stuff we need to make it. So by collaborating with the mechanical engineer and electronics engineer, they can make a great hardware component which are mechanically tested for any specific environmental condition. There are many other tests that need to be gone through. It could be a temperature also, right? Temperature cycling and vibration testing, shake and bake, as I just mentioned. So there are many tests are there, and I just realized that how important a role of mechanical engineer in the chip or hardware based companies. So if you are guys again looking for this kind of opportunity, just go for it, because this is the time. Because of the coding, the level of hardware and embedded things are exploded like just like anything. And if you are good mechanical engineer who can simulate and visualize about these things, that how this chips or the specific electronics component is going to affect the mechanical scenario, you will be an asset for that company. So yeah, that's all for now. Thank you so much for listening me out, and I'll come up with some new topics. Till then, keep figuring out, keep experimenting. Bye bye.